Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Friday, August 21st, 2020. We're in the final hour of the trading day and the final hour of the trading week. As I mention each day, my favorite time to make my buying and selling decisions is at the end of the day, in the last hour, in particular, the last few minutes. That's when the large financial institutions, they go to work. They're starting to make their decisions at the end of the day. They take the price control away from the day traders and the algorithms. They're dealing with the most money. They have very, very smart people, very good technology, best information, and I like to make my buying and selling decisions based upon what they are doing. So thank you all for coming today. I always look forward to seeing everyone. I think we have a great group. I'm very appreciative for it. And let's see who's here today. Dan is here. Hey, Dan, good to see you. Happy Friday, Greg, and everyone. Happy Friday to you, Dan, as well. Hey, Steve, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Always an honor and a privilege to have Steve here in the group with us. It's a big thing. It really is a big thing, and I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well, Steve. And Steve says, hello, everyone, 1 hour away from the weekend. Yes, that is true. 1 hour to go. Johan is here. Hey, Johan, good to see you. I'm looking forward to speaking with you later this evening for our Skype call. Hope you're having a good evening. Yeah, it's evening time, I think. Dang it. I know you're in Asia, so I'm not 100% sure. Evan is here. Good to see you, Evan. Always nice to have you. Quad is here. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Good afternoon, Greg and group. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you, Quad. William is here. Happy Friday, everyone. Good afternoon, Greg. Hello, William. Nice to see you, my friend. Frank is here. Hey, Frank. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Quad Racer says, interested in TLT today. What are your thoughts? Yeah, bonds rallying a little bit. Well, you know what? Look, it's below the -1 ATR channel. It's right at 50 RSI. It has the 20-day moving average here. Not a lot of volume. I don't know. This doesn't jump off the screen at me as something that just really looks fantastic. If we look at the weekly, we have the big down weekly bar. We're, right about halfway into it. So that's where I would expect it to go down, to be honest with you. Now, if you wanted to buy it here and just use a close below the 50 as your stop, that would make sense just to give you a good risk to reward ratio. But just where it's at right now, with all this resistance over it, that concerns me a little bit. I hope that helps, Quad. Miko, hello, Miko. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good day. David is here. Hi, David. Hope you're doing well, sir. And think about you and your shoulder, and I hope that all goes well. All right, so well, we're having another rip-roaring day. The Dow is up 204 points, up 0.75%. The Nasdaq is up 51.66, up 0.46%. And the S&P is up 12.61, up 0.37%. So it looks like the Dow is the big winner on the day. This is an unbelievable market, everybody. Like I can hardly fathom it, to be honest with you. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this other than the bubble that we had back in 1999, 2000. So, all right. So listen, here's the plan for today. First of all, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, get that out of the way. We're going to come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them moving forward. I have had a couple day trades today. We will go over those. I'll show you those. Then we're going to switch over to the board, take a look and see how everybody's doing with their positions here. After that, Kamal has been kind enough to send me the scanner today of some potential new entries for us to take a look at the end of the day. I have 3 requirements before I look to enter any trade. First requirement, confluence, combination of indicators lining up. I look at each indicator as a group of buyers. You're going to put yourself in the position to have the best chance of a winning trade if you're in the company with as many other buyers as possible. So I look at confluences of indicators lining up on multiple time frames as evidence of different groups of buyers coming in. Number 2, risk to reward ratio. It's very important. I like to have at least 2 to 1. If I'm going to risk $100, I want to be able to make at least $200 or more to the upside compared to what I'm risking to the downside. And the number three, very important, especially in times like this, please take a look and consider how many positions you have and how correlated they are. I never want to have more than 60% of my capital at risk, regardless of how diversified they are. But if you're 100% allocated and your positions are very correlated, that's a dangerous position. It's great on days when it goes up, but it can be very devastating on the way down. So keep that in mind. So with those three requirements, I'll go through the potentials from the scanner at the end of the day. We'll go through them with a fine-tooth comb. And if I find one that fits all my criteria at the end of the day, I will go ahead and purchase it. After the market closes, if anybody has any questions for me, please let me know. I'm happy to answer, happy to clarify. If you have any stock symbols that you'd like me to look at before the market closes, please put them in the chat, put an emoji or a asterisk by it so I know it's time sensitive. I'll do my very best to get to that. And then if you have any new entries or exit for me today, please, if you could be so kind, please wait till the end of the day before you tell me your new entries or your exits. So the pressure's off, the hour's over, the market's closed, and then I can spend the correct amount of time so I can make sure I get those done correctly. All right. So that's the plan for today. Hang tight. I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, and I will be back in about 40 seconds. Thanks. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. Okay, thanks for holding through that with me. Frank is here. Hey, Frank, good to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Let's take a look. Frank has a poem for us. The stock price is always right. You can argue with all your might. Valuations out of sight, ATRs, RSIs, bars lit up like dynamite. It may be a fright, but the stock price is always right. So true. The stock price is always right, regardless of what you think it should be. The market is always right, and if you're not in sync with it, you are always wrong. I hate to say it, but it's true. So spot on, Frank. Let me read it one more time. The stock price is always right. You can argue with all your might. Valuations out of sight, ATRs, RSI bars lit up like dynamite. It may be all right, but the stock price is always right. It may be a fright, but the stock price is always right. So true. Unbelievably so true. Thank you, Frank. Always appreciate the great poem and the effort that you put in there to contribute to the group. Man, this is just a great thing to have. Thank you, Frank. Hey, Kamal. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're having a good day, my friend. Thank you for the scanner, and always great chatting with you during the day. All right. Well, let's take a look, see what's happening. Beyond Meat. Okay. Let's see. Gary at a half. So myself, Gary, and Kamal got into Beyond Meat back here on the 19th of August. Bought at 125.10. Had a nice big up day yesterday. It did reject the 50 RSI. So I sold half because of that reason. Has not gone more than 1.5 ATRs for my entry. So I'm not in trailing stop mode. I'm sticking with my original stop of halfway the washout bar. Is down today, but that is a bit of a signal when you do reject the 50 RSI, and that's why I decided to get out of half, which at this point I'm glad that I did, and it looks like Gary got out of half as well. So still up nicely on the trade. Domino's Pizza. All right, Gary and I bought Domino's Pizza. Gary over here at 391.76. I bought it there as well. I got out here with a small loss. I didn't when it closed below the previous day's low, but I did enter the trade again here at 389.20 with the higher low V1 rejection of the 50-day moving average, and that was a good entry, 389.20. Look at this. This has just gone up, straight up. I did hit one profit target today. I am getting low on shares because I've been phasing out. I think just to clean up my charts and all that kind of stuff, I think I'm going to go ahead and just get out of Domino's Pizza today and call it good. It's at a 73 RSI. I could hold on for a little bit longer, but because I phase out, I'm running out of shares. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and exit and lock in profits on Domino's Pizza. SPY, real quick, you know the routine. I do buy the SPY every day at the close. I hold it overnight. I take the overnight risk. I sell it first thing the next morning. I do this based upon a long-term back-tested study from Liz Ann Saunders. She's at Bespoke Invest on Twitter since 1993. Two approaches. Approach one, buy the SPY at the open, hold it through the day, sell at the close. This approach, negative 13.9% return. Second approach is the one I use, buy the SPY at the close, hold it overnight, take the overnight risk, sell the first thing the next morning. This approach, 634.2%. Past performance, no guarantee of future results. May never work again in the history of the world, but if I'm going to take a trade, I'm going to base it on something that has good back-tested results. Blue lines, the buy in the buy at the close, sell the next morning. Orange lines, buy the morning, sell the close. You can see there's a clear difference over time. All this has done has gone up, but it does have significant drawdown. So if you're thinking about using this approach, think long term and be very conservative with your position size, like a 5% position size, 10% position size, or the value. Use the, take your maximum allowed loss, divide it by the value of the 2 ATR channel, and that will adjust for volatility, and that's a good way to do it as well. So this one has not been so hot tamale the last little while. I mean, not big losses, but I did buy yesterday here at 338.28. And again, I almost sold the low. 338.28 I got in. I got out at 337.86. So not too bad, but like everything, things have opened up, gone up. I mean, open, down, gone up. Open, down, gone up. But like I say, I take the long view approach on this. I will buy this again at the close. MDB. Kamal and I bought MDB back here on the 12th. Kamal bought it at 193 intraday. I bought it at 194.98 at the close. This has been a wonderful, wonderful move up. It is down 1.7% today. It's holding yesterday's big up bar about halfway, so that's positive. No profit targets today, but it is holding the above the 50 RSI, and it did not make a lower low, so I will be keeping this. But this has been a monster trade. This has been over a 10% trade from entry to exit. All right, I did have a couple day trades today. On the Qs, here we go. This is a perfect example of a false breakout to the downside with a V2. We came down, sideways motion, stabbed down. Next bar we came up, triggered a V2 and a false breakout to the downside. I did get in here at 280.79. And I got out here when we had a V1 to the downside and false breakout to the upside. So the same approach that I got in, I got out. False here, we had a false breakout to the downside and a V2 entry. Here we have a false breakout to the upside with the V1 entry. So I got in at 280.79 and I got out at 281.38. So that was a good trade. And then lastly, Apple. Apple is unbelievable, everybody. Just unbelievable. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. This is a good example here of a higher low V1 right here. I bought it at 490.53 with a higher low V1. It moved up nicely. It did reject the 70 RSI right here. So if I get rejected above, I sell half and wait for a close below. So this is a really good example of why I've switched to use this. We rejected the 70. Okay, it rejected above, so I sold half, but I was still waiting for a close below halfway of the washout bar. We never got it. I wish I would have just followed the rules here, but I was getting ready for the podcast. So I think it was 5 minutes before the podcast. So I said, okay, I'll just get out. So I got in at 490.53, got out a half at 492.79. I got out of the other half at 494.21. Had I just played this out the way, had I not had the podcast and I didn't want to have the trade on, I would be getting out here with the close below the previous day's low. So what is this, 94? So it would have been worth another 3 points or so. But again, when I start the podcast, I just want to go ahead and not have to deal with a current position so I can focus. Sometimes it works for me. Yesterday I took one right before the podcast, and it was perfect. It was right at the top, and then it went down. But this one, like things happen, right? Sometimes they work for you, sometimes they work against you. But this was a really nice trade. I mean, half of that was like a four-point trade on Apple. Apple is unbelievable. I mean, I just can't believe it. I mean, this is, I thought we were going to touch $500 today. It got as high as $499.47. Oh my gosh. This is a $200 stock. This is just crazy. It's just crazy. All right, so there's my day trades. Let's take a look over here. So here we have Quad and Bob in Intel. A bunch of us got in Intel here at 49.22, under 30, over 30, V2, back in the value zone. It just moved sideways, 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 but held the stop. Yesterday we had a big gap up. And I took my profits yesterday. Of course, we had a big gap up, so I hit a couple profit targets here. I didn't like how the bar closed, with the bar being up on the day, but the close being lower than the open. That's a bit of a bearish bar, and I did go ahead and get out of it. And it's down a little bit today. Not too bad. But Bob and Quad are still in this, but looks like about break even at right now. Grow. Oh boy, Frank. Yep. Shoot. So Frank bought Grow here. GRGW at 17.93. Had a huge day. It was up 23%. Yesterday we had down, and we had some follow through down today as well. So that's unfortunate, Frank, after being up so high. Massey, Kamal did buy Massimo yesterday, MASI at 223. This one's down 1.45% today. So this one is a little bit underwater. Roku, Karen did buy Roku at 149.80. It is at 147.05, down 1.25% today. J&J, oh, Frank and Bob, beautiful. This was a nice setup. Return to value V2. This looks very similar to the Apple trade I just showed you. Got in at 147.39. It is 153.42, up 1.32%. Very nice, Frank and Bob. Google, maybe I should go over here. Where's my Google chart? Okay. So Steve bought Google yesterday with the 1030 crossover. This is a good back-tested approach, long-term back-tested crossover approach to trading Google. Let me go back to my other chart. I just wanted to show you the 1030 that did cross over yesterday. Here, I'll put mark there. Okay. So Steve bought it yesterday at 1578.10. Right now it's 1576. So just down a couple bucks. Brian and David did buy Google back here at 1504, and it is at 1576. So they are up nicely in the trade. Procter & Gamble, Brian bought Procter & Gamble back here at 128.30. It is 137.96. Beautiful trade, Brian. LVGO, Brian also bought LVGO at 129.46. It is at 140.42, up nicely today, but off of its highs, but still a great trade. MD, David. Oh, fantastic, David. I saw this. I thought, oh, but I can't. I remember it's a short. David did short MD at 1946. It is at 1849, down 2.12%. So very nice there. Bob did buy TCDA at 1409. Originally had a nice big up move and then down sideways, and this is down 7.9%. So that's unfortunate right there for sure. STZ, Evan did buy STZ at 178.12. It is now 179.20. So very, very nice. FCFS, Bob did buy FCFS at 58.10. It's at 60.73. Up a little bit today and nicely up on the trade. FAS, okay, this is Frank. Frank bought the 520 EMA crossover at 33.79. This is a good back-tested approach, and it trended like it was supposed to. I got out here, a bunch of other people got out here the next day. Frank got out of 90% of his, but he's still holding 10%. So I'm really glad he got out of 90% there. We are back in the value zone. It looks like we're holding, although it is down a little bit today. NTNX, Karen bought NTNX yesterday at 21.49. It is at 20.95, so that one is down today. Car, Frank and Jayhawk MBA bought car at 29.54. Didn't start off so great, but it is up today, up 2.62% and back in the money. So very nice, Frank and Jayhawk. Facebook, Brian bought Facebook 242.98 and also 235. It is at 267.31. Nicely up on the trade, but down about 0.62%. Amazon, Brian bought Amazon here at $3,057. It is now $3,282, down a little bit today, but still nicely up. Costco, Glenn bought Costco, the breakout at 330. Huge move up, bit of a pullback, and then back up 1.3% today. PayPal, Brian bought PayPal back here on the 17th at 174.01. It is now 197.49. So beautiful trade there. Down a little bit today, but still way up on the trade. Fastly, David, Brian, Glenn bought Fastly. Ooh, I forgot what's going on here. Two of these people bought Fastly at 79.79. And I can't remember who bought yesterday at 83.70. Somebody new came in. Oh no, back here they bought at 79.79, and then somebody bought yesterday. I think it was Brian. I think it was Brian at 83.70. So is up for everyone, so that's good, although it is down a little bit today. SHW, Brian bought Sherwin-Williams at 648.69. It is up beautifully today and nicely on positive trade. DBX, Kamal bought DBX at 1990. It is at now 1994, so slightly up on the trade, but down on the day. Microsoft, Brian bought Microsoft here at 214.84. It is at 213.49, so down on the day and slightly down on the trade. Stitch Fix, David and Gary bought Stitch Fix back here at 22.56 with this V2 close over the 200. Nice big up move. Last couple days we have gone down, though. We're going back down in the value zone, but still nicely up on the trade. Netflix, Brian bought Netflix here at 509. It is now 492.75. Down on the day and a little bit down and down on the trade as well. Etsy, Brian bought Etsy here 134.71. It's at 130.57, up on the day, but down on the trade as a whole. AMD, Brian bought AMD at 82.72. It is now 83.86 up on the day and up on the trade. Square, Brian bought Square at 140.33. It's at 154.89, down on the day, but nicely up on the trade. And then let's see, we have a couple more here. Kamal bought QLYS at 108.60, and it is down 2.72 today, down 2.51%. So that one was kind of a whipsaw. Went up and then boom, right back down. And then TTD, Kamal bought TTD yesterday, higher low V2 at 471. It's down $7.53, at 1.6% today. So a little bit of a mixed bag, some good, some bad. But you know, that's trading. That's how it goes. Okay. Frank says, I got a GRWG after the rise quicker than a hound dog chases a rabbit. Oh, good. So you're out of that one. Okay. I'm glad to hear that. Hound dog. William says, looking to trade. Cat looks to be a V2. Goldman Sachs a V1's thoughts. Well, let's take a look. Caterpillar. Yeah, you're right. It is a V2. We were above the value zone. We came into the value zone. You know, I hate to be nitpicky, but we did go down. We've never had one day of sideways motion. We've always closed lower, lower. I mean, yes, it is a V2. You know, if you're going to take this, I would use a close below halfway of the washout bar here. But let's take a look at the weekly. I don't know. I'm not too excited. I mean, it is technically a pullback into value. It just never really found any support. It went down and down and down, and then we had a washout yesterday, and we did come back up nicely, which is good. It is above the 50 RSI. It's above the moving averages, which helps. I don't know. I look at this and I just don't feel it. My concern is it's going to go up maybe one day and then come back down. But, you know, what do I know, right? If I really knew that, I'd short it, right? I really don't know, but I just want to be honest with you. And you know, of course, we never know what's going to happen. But I wouldn't take this trade. I wouldn't take this trade. I mean, it's better than a random trade. I can tell you that. Goldman Sachs. Yeah, it's a V1. I wouldn't take it here with this 200-day moving average right above me. I would wait for either the 520 crossover, which is a good back-tested approach to trading Goldman, or a close above the 200-day also, which then gives you a better risk to reward ratio and having that support below you instead of that resistance above you. So those are my thoughts, William. All right, give me 1 second. All right, let me take a quick look at current positions here. Beyond Meat is down today, but up on the trade. Glad I got rid of half yesterday. You know, that's what my approach calls for. If I go up, reject the 50-day, come back down, I'm always going to get rid of half because that's a bit of a red flag. Domino's Pizza. Let me just cancel those limit orders. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and sell Domino's pizza, and the reason why is one, it's been a huge big day. This isn't super bullish bar here either, but I'm running out of shares, and I just want to free up some space and free up my mind, and get out of this. From a positive standpoint, it is holding the third ATR channel, but I will personally exit this just today and lock in profits. SPY had the overnight SPY loss. I will buy that again at the close. And MDB's been a really great trade. It is down a bit today, but it's still holding the 50-day moving average. It's still holding the 50 RSI, and it didn't make a lower low. So this one is fine. I'll leave that one. William says, great. Thanks, Greg, for the wisdom. You are welcome. Glenn says, hi, Greg. FLSY entry was 83.87 yesterday. Okay. Oh, I had 83.70. Okay, so 83.87. And that's Glenn. Okay. Gotcha. Thanks for that, Glenn. Just give me a second. Okay. So listen, everyone, before we start looking at some potential end of day trades here, just want to get away from charts and indicators and the specifics of trading and switch over to psychology mode, good trading words of wisdom, trader psychology. There's a lot of really good channels out there that post good information in the psychology department and good trading words of wisdom. And one of my very, very favorites, of course, our friend Stephen Burns. This is over on Facebook. And by the way, Steve, thank you so much for including me on your list today. I always really appreciate that you put out on Twitter. But let's see what Steve has to say today. A trading edge is a statistical, systematic, or psychological advantage you have over other traders that creates your profits. You always read, if you start trading, you always read, hey, you have to have an edge. You have to have an edge. But what does an edge really mean, right? Like I remember when I first heard it, I'm like, well, what is it? And how do you know if you really have it? Well, you can know that you have an edge based upon data, right? Statistical data. A trading edge is a statistical, systematic, or psychological advantage. So it can be statistically, like the overnight SPY trade, right? That shows that it has an edge. Systematic, you have an approach that either you've back tested or from experience, you know that works and you stick with that systematic. Or psychological advantage, right? And we're talking about psychology here, but your approach gives you some kind of psychological advantage over other traders by giving you a good context, a good structure of the trade so that you get out quickly if you're wrong, and if you have a winner, you know where to let it ride. So it gives you levels, right? It gives you levels. I always talk about risk to reward. You want to have support underneath you. Ideally, you want to enter as close to your support as possible so that if it does go down and closes below your moving average or your RSI level or whatever you're using as your line in the sand, you know exactly where to get out. See, the worst part about for some people trading is just not knowing what to do. They don't have levels to key off of. Below they get out, above they get in. So that creates an edge where you can train. You put together a structure of your trade based upon, I'm getting out under this large moving average. If it fails, I'm taking a crossover. I'm going to get in if we reject a 30 RSI and then closes above. So it's just all about structure. So a trading edge is a statistical, systematic, or psychological advantage you have over other traders that creates your profits. And you know, you are taking money from the other traders, and you're probably taking money from people that don't have a plan. So please come up with a plan. You know, back test it, like the overnight SPY trade, like the crossover trades, like the break and close back over major moving averages, and using those as your trailing stop, right? You know, if you buy over the 200-day and it goes up, well, that 200 days moving average is going to continue to go up, and then that gives you a trailing stop. So anyway, thank you, Steve Burns. I appreciate that, my friend. Glenn says, add VRM today. We'll give you entry at the close. Okay, thank you very much, Glenn. VRM. Steve, thanks for sharing that, Greg. So many new traders never understand what an edge in trading is. It's right. I've always heard, you know, edge, you got to have an edge, you got to have an edge, you got to have an edge. You listen to Market Wizards and you hear that 500 times, but what really is an edge, you know? Back tested. You have back tested statistical results that shows you that it does work over the long run. And that's really what it takes. It's really what it takes. But remember, trading is about either having big wins, small wins, break-even trades, or small losses. That's the profitable formula for trading. If you're losing, you are probably under your moving average. You're probably under whatever levels that you're out, and you just don't know when to say uncle and get out, right? It's a good idea whenever you get into a trade, know exactly where you're going to get out. Try to get in as close as you can to where you're going to get out if you're wrong. That's the key. That is the key. Okay. All right. What time is it? 1:38. All right, just give me a second. Oh, I forgot to go over XLF. I am getting out of XLF. Today is Friday. It's the end of the bar. I did buy on Friday. So this is a great example of what I was just talking about. Getting as close as you can to the level that if you're wrong, you're wrong. Well, my level was the 200-day moving average. I got pretty dang close to it, didn't I? Right? But clearly today it's going to close under the 200-day moving average. So I am going to go ahead and just get out of the financials. Anyone else in this one? No, just me. All right. So, you know, listen, might just take off and run again, and that's just how it goes. But that was my plan. Get over the 200-day moving average. If it closes under the 200-day moving average, weekly charts. So on Friday, the next Friday, if it closes under 200, I have to just go ahead and get out. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. As a matter of fact, I'm going to just do that right now to free up some time at the end. And just take my lumps, right? In trading, you have a lot of losers, and this was a loser, no doubt about it. And then let me get out over here as well. Okay, that is done and taken care of. So XLF is off the board, but this is a really good example. It does back test well if you buy over the 200 and you hold it until it closes under the 200. This one just didn't work, but you know, we talk about an edge. There was an edge with this trade, right? I can look statistically and see that there was an edge buying over the 200-week moving average, staying in it, above it, closing if it closes below, and it's closing below. So that's that. All right, let's take a look at some potential entries for today. PFSI. Well, this is a return to value. Couple days sideways here. False breakout to the downside. V2, I don't think it's a V2 anymore. Let's see, the close was 48.47 yesterday. 48.47. So yes, it is. It is technically a V2. It is over the 50 RSI. It's okay. It's okay. So I'll consider that one. 5 below. All right. Well, 5 below, we have a higher low V2. We're over the 50 RSI. 3 bars here. Bar 1, 2, 3. Bar 2 washes out bar 1. Bar 3, which is the day, looks like it's going to close above bar 1's close, making it a V2. Pretty good risk to reward ratio. We have some room to move up. I would get out with the close below halfway of yesterday's bar, right about here. So this one's okay. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly's holding the 50-week moving average. It's above 50. RSI is positive. So I kind of like 5 right now anyway. NATI. Well, this is an interesting one. You know, we had the big move up over here. Big move up. Then we came back down. We have held at the 50% mark. See, if you have a big up bar, then from a Fibonacci standpoint, coming back down and holding that, it should have some support around big bar up. It should have some support about 50%. Well, that's exactly where it bounced. And it also, let's see, did we go under 30 today? Yeah, we did. So we have an under 30, over 30 Fibonacci standpoint. And is it a V1? Close was 34.46 yesterday. So that is a potential as well. Little scary down here, but you do have some potentials. And we have some volume coming in as well. Let's look on the weekly. Holding the 1 ATR channel. That one's okay. Match group. Well, this did form a V2 earlier in the day, but it would have been too high for me to buy. So I'm going to get rid of that one. Linux. V1, rejection of the 50-day moving average, rejection, and V1. I would rather, like, I'd feel better to take the trade on the weekly down in here. If the weekly got into here, yeah, I just don't think that's enough for me. UI, big bar up, bad risk to reward ratio in my opinion. EDU is a V1, it's a V2, but it's a V2 up against a big monster down bar. So I don't like that. It is a V2. It is a false breakout here, but this bar is just so big that I feel like it's going to be tough to get back over it. So I'm going to take that one out. Yelp. Did this go under 30 and over 30? I don't think so. No, it didn't. No, I don't see anything there. JO. I remember looking at JO here. This, again, this is a good example of a rejection of the 200-day moving average. If you were wrong, you could be wrong small with the close underneath, but I don't think it didn't backtest well. So it's good formation, but it didn't backtest well, although it was positive. AMAT was a V1 yesterday, false breakout. No, I don't like this one. Vanguard, yes, it's a V2, but there's absolutely no sideways motion. We came into the value zone and we just bounced. That's it. The people that bought down here have made a nice profit, and I would imagine that there would be some selling going on. It would come back down. So no, I don't like VWO. Walmart, it's in the value zone. We have held steady for one day, so I would look for Walmart to have another day or two or three sideways, and then look for a V1 or a V2. That would be the correct way to do it. PPLT, physical platinum. It's a V1, but no sideways motion, so no. PRLB, it did wash out over here, but has untriggered the V2. KMI, it's a higher low V1 with the rejection of the -1 ATR channel. It's okay, but it doesn't strike me as something that I really want. United Healthcare Group, yes, pull back into the value zone and a V1, but no sideways motion. Give me 1 second. I need to take care of Katie. Give me about 30 seconds, okay? Sorry. Okay, thank you for waiting there. Okay, so I'm going to go back and take a look at the potentials. PFSI, it's okay. I mean, it is okay. Let's look at the monthly. Monthly isn't an uptrend. Weekly, not much of a pullback from a triple screen perspective. Volume is good. Let's look intraday and see what these bars look like. This was a little choppy. Did reject the 10. Did reject the 5 above already. MACD is negative. I like 5 below. I like the higher low V2. I like that if it does continue to go up, we may get a MACD crossover, which would bring in some new buyers. We went under 50, over 50. I do kind of like 5. And NAIT. I think I'm going to go with 5. 5 is going to be my trade today. higher low V2. We went under 50, over 50. I like how the halfway of the bar matches right up with the 20-day moving average. So that's my pick today. And real quick, Beyond Meat, that one's fine. Domino's Pizza, I am going to go ahead and just exit Domino's Pizza right now. That was a great trade. And thanks to Kamal Scanner for picking that one out. Okay. So I am at a Domino's Pizza. SPY buying at the end of the day. MDB still have down today, but no damage on the chart. XLF, I did get out of XLF on the weekly with the close under the 200-day moving average. All right, so we have about 8 minutes to go. Hey Yas, how you doing? Well, sometimes the edge does not work, which does not make me edgy. Which does make me edgy. That's true. They don't always work. Glenn says, I'm trading breakouts on cup and handles, following William O'Neill's guide with max loss 7%. Yeah, the can slim method, right? Very good. Gary, good afternoon, Greg and group. Hey, Gary, good to see you. Frank says, love Bill O'Neill, but that 7% rule I never liked. Did you feel like it was a little high, Frank? Kamal XLU. I think in one of his books, though, I think the book How to Make Money in Stock, they were talking about the 7% rule, and the guy he was talking to said, oh, I never let it get that far. XLU's okay. Yeah. I mean, I like the rejection of the 50-day moving average in the V1 and that we're closing back in the value zone. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly has a nice pullback into the value. Bounced off the 50 RSI on the week. That is positive also. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. I would use halfway the washout bar or the 50-day and then see how it reacts around the 200. Alan C is here. Hello, Alan. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're having a good day. All right, so I'm going to put 5 up here. Boy, Apple, they sure bought that dip to the value zone, didn't they? That's the key, buying the dip to the value zone and selling when it comes up above value. Buying in value, selling above value. Buying below value, selling at value. That's the key. Five below right now is in the value zone. Looks like right there. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and buy 5 here. Right, I'm done. I am done. Just fascinated by this unbelievable day in Apple. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, it's just unbelievable that a large cap stock like this could just be on this torrent of a run. Just incredible. Gary said, sold a put call spread on BABA today. Sold 18 240 puts and bought 18 235 puts for a net credit of 73 cents. Okay, very good. So I hope Alibaba goes up for Gary. Let's look at the Alibaba chart. Yeah, strong chart. So you sold them at 240. Oh, you have a lot of protection right down here around the, yep. So what that means is if Alibaba does not close below 240 on September 18th, Gary will make the difference between what he sold and what he bought on his puts. Kamal, BTI. British American Tobacco. Well, it's a V1. It's a bullish engulfing bar. We're back in the value zone. MACD is positive. It's a false breakout to the downside. Weekly, I guess a V1. Volume, it's not bad. It's not bad. You know, halfway of the washout bar lines up nicely with that 1 ATR channel, so that would be, you know, that would be your stop most likely. I like when halfway of washout bars line up nicely with some kind of major moving average or ATR channel. Yeah, it's not bad. Volume increased today as well. Frank says love Apple. Oh, Frank, I'm so sorry. Frank bought Apple at 450. It's at 498.93. So what a huge move for Frank. Congratulations, my friend. I always forget because I trade Apple and I put it in a different group. What a day on Apple for Frank. Fantastic, my friend. Unbelievable. All right, we have 2 minutes to go. Let's see if Apple can get to 500. I can't even believe I'm saying it's at $500. Or almost $500. It's amazing. Hey, Intel went positive. Good. Good for Bob and Quad. Nice trade on Apple, Frank. Fantastic. I always forget that one. Let me make a little note here. So Gary, Baba sold September 18th, 240, 235 puts, 73 cents. That one's going to take me a little longer to get up there, but I will definitely get it up there. Hey, that's it. That's it for the day. So good week, good day trading there on those Apple and Qs. And so, all right, listen, I'm going to do my quick little plug, but then after that, if you have any new entries for me today or exits, this is the time to do it. Just put them in the live chat, and I will get them all taken care of. So, but real quick, I know you hear this plug every day, but you know, sorry, but I do want to remind everybody that I do offer private one-on-one coaching and teaching lessons in the evening time via Skype. I love to teach. I've been doing it for a long time now. I've had good results with my clients. I have been trading for 24 years. I have a lot of experience. I've been through a lot of different markets and a lot of different situations. And I have studied one-on-one with some just wonderful, great authors and teachers that you know about. Stephen Burns, of course. Studied a lot with Stephen Burns. Dr. Alexander Elder, Carrie Lavorne, Larry Williams. So I've learned a lot of different approaches from these four gentlemen. And in my course, what I teach is I teach you everything, all my experience and everything that I've learned from working one-on-one with these four gentlemen. So I have a course. It's 15 hours. Each there's 5 sessions, 3 hours apiece. So 5 sessions, 3 hours each session, total of 15 hours. And I teach you everything I've learned. And I think it's a great course. And I think the best way to learn is one-on-one. I really do. I'm a firm believer in that. So that you have the attention, you can get questions answered right away. And so, you know, if you've been thinking about taking the course, just contact me. You can send me an email. The email's in the description of this video. You can also send me a message on Twitter. And if you do reach out to me, I'll say, hey, how's it going? Let's set up a Skype call. The Skype call's free. There's no sales pressure. I will not ask you if you want to take the course. I just want to speak to you, get to know you a little bit better, learn more about your trading, your challenges, and your goals. And then it's a great time for you to ask me about the course in detail, right? But again, no sales pressure after the call. Say, hey, nice talking to you. You think about it. If you're interested, you can just contact me back. And tonight, actually, Johan and I are having a call. So I'm looking forward to that. It's always nice to put a face with the name. Then if you like today's podcast, if you could take just a half a second, hit the thumbs up button, I would really, really appreciate that. It helps build the channel, keeps the channel alive. So if you find it valuable, I would appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button before you get out here. Okay. So those are my plugs. Let's take a look here. All right, so 5. I bought it 109.31, and SPY, I bought it 339.48. All right, so 5. 109, oops, 109.31. All right, 9 cents in the money. That's a good start. And then SPY, $339, dang it, 339.48. Okay. And that one's down a little bit from entry. All right. All right. Now let's go on over and see. All right. Brian sold Fastly. Okay. Gary sold DPZ. All right, I think that was a good trade, wasn't it? What a trade on Domino's, man. All right, so that's all. So we're all out of there. That one just kept going and going and going. And 5. Oops, see how I put 5 in instead of Gary M? David Fastly is also out of. Quad says, thanks, Greg. Thumbs up as always. Still in Intel and followed suit and bought 5 as well. All right. Frank bought some XLU. Kamal got out of TTD. Good. Just keep those losses small. That's what's important, right, Kamal? Massey. Good. Keep them small. Just get out of them when they're not working. QLYS, yeah, that's, I think, a good call on that. You know, looking at this trade, Kamal, you know, the one thing that would have concerned me yesterday was, yeah, it's a higher low V1 for sure, but you see how we already rejected the 50. We rejected it 2 days in a row. You know, that could have been a red flag. Didn't mean it couldn't just gone straight up. I mean, I'm not cherry picking because this one went down, but I'm just looking at this and seeing that it is a good example that we had 2 days of rejecting the 50-day moving average, which is a red flag. There's no doubt about that. Okay, Frank says, I've also been holding a position LVGO. LVGO. Okay. Frank. Okay, I'm not going to put the different prices here just because it's always confusing for me to know. So, but I've got Frank and Brian in LVGO. Well, I'll tell you what, let's do this then. There's 2 I can do at 133. 48. You hot, girl? She's over there panting. Okay. David, sorry, still in FSLY. Oh, did I take? Oh no. Oh, David said, okay, so David is still in Fastly. Okay. and sold Stitch Fix. Kamal says, have a good weekend, Greg. Thank you. Thank you, Kamal. Appreciate everything you do, bud. For the scanner, it's a really great resource. I mean, just unbelievable. Okay. Any other updates, changes, questions, anything I got to do for anybody? While you're thinking about that, just let me remind you to have a good weekend. Please go out and do something nice for somebody today. Just a smile, a wave, hello, just something nice for a human every day would make the world a lot better place, and it would make it doubly as better if you could go out and do something for an animal, a kind little something, little gesture, something for an animal. So one nice thing for a human today, one nice thing for an animal, that would make the world a lot better place if everybody would do that every day. So, you know, let's start and just do it ourselves, and maybe it will catch on, because we need more of that in our world. Okay. And Johan, if you're still on there, I'm looking forward to our call tonight on Skype. That's 8 o'clock my time, Mountain Standard Time. Okie doke. Dan says, thanks, Greg, Steve, and Kamal, everyone. Thank you, Dan. Hope you have a good weekend. Johan says, thanks. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Thank you, Johan, and I'll speak to you later tonight. And Miko, thanks, Greg. Have a great weekend. You too. All right. Have a good weekend. Be good. Be safe. Study some charts. Read a trading book. Right? And hopefully I will see everybody this coming Monday during the last hour of the market. Okay, take care, everyone. Now we'll talk to you later. Oh, Glenn, VRM entry. Vroom, not to be confused with Zoom. 6105. Nice. In the money so far. That's great. Okay, Glenn, gotcha. Gotcha on there. Good trade so far. 6105. Okay. All right. That's a wrap, everybody. Hope to see you on Monday. Have a nice weekend. Talk to you later. Thanks for coming. Bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and Forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity.